These are chemical formula of specific compounds that you will commonly encounter in chemistry. So water is H2O, probably you've seen that somewhere. Carbon dioxide, CO2, and be careful, the 2 is subscript. You never write CO2, this is wrong, or you would write CO2, this is wrong as well. So the 2 is subscript, it has to be subscript. Nitrogen dioxide, NO2, ammonia, NH3, hydrochloric acid, HCl, sulfuric acid, H2SO4, nitric acid, HNO3, phosphoric acid, H3PO4. These are chemical formula that generally you will not have to find by cross multiplication, you just have to know them. Carbon dioxide is very easy to remember because it says carbon dioxide. Di means 2, so carbon dioxide means there is 2 oxide, so dioxide. Similarly, if it would be carbon monoxide, mono means 1, so means that it's a carbon attached to 1 carbon, so it's just CO. Similarly, nitrogen dioxide is NO2, but if you have nitrogen trioxide, tri means 3, so then you'll have NO3 like this. You can have nitrogen monoxide as well, which is NO. So for these ones, it's going to be a bit different. It's not cross multiplication here, it's different. This is why I've written the title to be formula that you should know. Now, another thing is there are some elements that do not exist alone in nature. So oxygen gas, oxygen element is O, but when oxygen is in the air, it does not exist as just an atom of oxygen. It exists as a molecule of oxygen, which means that there is an oxygen atom that combines with another oxygen atom. So they exist as oxygen molecules. Or you could draw it like that. Oxygen and oxygen, they combine together to form a molecule. So when they are a molecule, we use O2. The 2 here is showing how many oxygen atoms are together. So here there is 1 oxygen atom and 1 oxygen atom. So that's 2 oxygen atoms that combine together in oxygen gas. Hydrogen similarly exists as hydrogen gas, H2. So there's 2 hydrogens that combine together. Nitrogen gas and 2 again. Fluorine gas, F2, chlorine gas, Cl2, iodine, I2, bromine, Br2. All these exist as diatomic molecules in nature, which means that the atom does not like to be alone. The atom will combine with another atom just like itself. And the numbers written as subscript show how many atoms are there in the molecule. It's not related to the valency of the element at all. So it's not like oxygen is O2 because its valency is 2. No. There is O2 because there is 2 atoms of oxygen combined. N2 it exists as N2 because there is 2 atoms of nitrogen combined. So let's use these subscript numbers now. So the numbers written as subscript show how many atoms are present in that compound. So oxygen, there is 2 oxygen atoms. And if you look at here, Al2O3, so there is 2 Al atoms and there is 3 oxygen atoms. If you look at here, there is 2 H atoms. S, there is nothing written on it, so that's just 1 S atom. And there is 4 O atoms. Similarly, you're going to write down how many atoms of each element you have in the following compounds. Now, sometimes you will find that you have chemical formulas like this, where you have brackets. Now, what do the brackets mean? The brackets mean that there is, if you look at this one, it means that there is NO3, NO3, and NO3. So there's 3 times NO3. So which means that you have, if you're counting the number of nitrogen, there is 1, 2, 3 nitrogen actually, and there is 3 plus 3, 6 plus 3, 9 oxygen. So whenever you have brackets, it means that you need to multiply the numbers by the number outside the bracket, which means that when you're counting, so you're going to have 1 Al, because there's nothing attached to the Al, and there's 3 nitrogen, so 1 nitrogen inside. Here you have 1 nitrogen inside. 1 times 3 gives me 3, and then 3 oxygen times 3, so that gives me 9 oxygen atoms. So in that compound, these are the atoms present. Let's do another example. So zinc, so there is 1 Zn atom, and if you look at oxygen, there's 1 oxygen inside the bracket. 1 times 2 gives me 2 oxygen atoms. And same thing for hydrogen, 1 hydrogen inside times 2, so that gives me 2 H atoms. Same thing here, let's calculate it. Nitrogen, 1 nitrogen times 2, so 1 times 2, 2 nitrogen atoms. And hydrogen, 4 hydrogen times 2, 4 times 2, 8 hydrogen atoms. 1 sulfur atom, and there is 4 oxygen atoms. So this is counting atoms when you have brackets in the formula. So that's it. Next lesson we'll be seeing balancing equations.